Alright guys, today we are going to do a very interesting video which will be based on non-fiction books, self-help books. And yeah, like I've read quite a bunch of self-help books over the past 2 years, and these are some of them. I will judge them from S to D. I will rank them, S tier being the most life-changing, the most profound insights, and D tier being unconstructive ones, wasted my time but was not too bad. Like reading is not a bad habit, it just did not change my life, it did not give me any insights. Starting with number one, You Can Win by Shiv Khera. D tier book. We're starting with the D tier simply because this book does not tell you anything new. If you know the very basics of self-help, you will know the entire contents of this book. Basically, there's nothing, there is nothing new in this one. It just tells you to be a good human being. Like that is it. Next, we're going to be talking about 4 hour work week, B tier. Yeah, a lot of angry comments. But the 4 hour work week, I did not find it to be super useful. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I mean, this book was very actionable. This book was very interesting to read. Tim Ferriss's writing style, absolutely, like it's really good. I loved the writing style. It absolutely vibed with me. But the thing is, the data given in this book is not timeless because a lot of the actionable steps require links and different contacts with different companies, and that thing could get backdated after some time. So Tim Ferriss will have to write an updated 4 hour work week after a few years if any of the companies shut down or any of the links in the book stop working. Other than that, the 4 hour work week basically talks about leverage. It's leverage. If you already pre knew about leverage, don't read this book because there's nothing in it. But again, like, who am I to judge? You could read this book, find some different insights. Next, we're going to be talking about The Millionaire Fast Lane, S tier. S tier book. For years, I used to spout this hate against traditional conventional studying and why do I hate jobs, the rat race. But I never really understood why should I hate the rat race, why should I hate jobs. This book, The Millionaire Fast Lane, taught me so much. The basic concept of this book is twofold. Number one is, of course, leverage. Again, like similar to 4 hour work week, leverage talks a lot about leverage, and leverage is important, so you should talk about it a lot of the times. But this book, the second thing which I'm going to talk about is the basic concept of this book. Fast lane, what does that mean? It's basically you getting rich quick. It talks about how getting rich quick is not a scam, but get rich easy is a scam. Let me repeat that. When I say get rich quick, you think of scams. But get rich quick is not a scam, get rich easy is a scam. And so basically, this says that you can get rich faster because it's no use you becoming a millionaire when you are 70 and your bones hurt and you can't move. It's never good. You will not be able to sit in the sports car because it's too uncomfortable. You will not be able to go on certain adventures because your lungs might burst because you're old. And so this book basically talks about why getting rich old is pointless and you need to get rich quick. And getting rich quick is not a scam. Getting rich easy is a scam, so don't fall for the scams. But getting rich quick is not impossible, so you can do it. S tier book absolutely changed my perception and it gave me constructive reasons on why to hate jobs. And this is basically the reason. Like, if you get into a job, very little chance of you getting rich. It will take a lot of time. You will only get rich when you are like 80 and your bones hurt. Okay, and one of your kidneys has failed. Next, we're going to be talking about this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And I will put it in B tier because it made me overthink, but I still do use some of the principles that I learned from here in my daily day to day life. And it has given me a lot of friends. It has helped me with my social skills greatly. But still, I will give it a B tier because right after the week that I read this, I became such a massive overthinker, and I would get into social situations and I would start, zoning out and thinking about this book. Okay, I need to use this exact point in this exact scenario, and talk to them about. I know that this book does not tell you to do that, but this book just makes you think really too much. And so it's a B tier book because it's not bad at all. Like, I still use some of these things, but not life changing, not profound. It just gives you very clear directions on how to make more friends, how to be more socially calibrated, and this book definitely works. Next, we're going to be talking about deep work. S tier book. Fun fact, Deep Work is the first self help book that I ever read, and it captured my mind. I have read this book like 3 or 4 times. The entire concept of deep work is something that we already know. It's working for specific hours without distraction at all. Like 100% of your focus, as much as possible, should be on the task at hand and not distracted. You should not multitask. You should not listen to music or podcasts while doing something, right? And this is basically deep work. And has it changed my life? Definitely. Before, if my parents would tell me that you need to work without distractions, I would treat that as like an order, and rebelling against it would be my natural response. But after I read this book, I understood that my parents' advice had a lot of meaning to it, and working without distraction actually matters. And only after that did I start taking this entire concept of deep work seriously. And so, S tier book. Next, we're going to be talking about not a self-help book, but it's a biographical sketch. Phil Knight, Shoe Dog. S tier book. S tier book. And I'm telling you, every aspiring entrepreneur, anyone who wants to create something, should read this book. Absolutely a recommended read. This book can't be talked about enough. It's so good. Shoe Dog by Phil Knight is like, it talks about the entire history of Nike and the backstory of Nike and how it was set up, and all the little intricate details and little things and problems and solutions and issues with the supplier, and everything is dealt with in such detail. But at the same time, it's not boring to read. It's a really good story, and it talks about the amazing concept behind the waffle shoe, and like it basically is an amazing book. Like, every entrepreneur should read this, and you will definitely feel inspired. Inspired. This is not a self-help book. This is a story book, but the story is very real, and that's what makes it fascinating. Next up, we're going to be talking about the power of your subconscious mind, and I really want to place it in the S tier. Okay, but I would love to place it in A tier as well. Why? This book has absolutely changed my life. Absolutely, even more than deep work. Like, this book has affected my life so well. Um, okay, so this book basically talks about the subconscious mind. Yeah, the title says it all. And only after reading this book did I start to distinguish between the mind that I can control, which is the inner voice, and the mind that I cannot control, which is the thoughts which you get, the random ideas you get, the bits of knowledge you get every now and then. That is the subconscious mind. And this entire concept which this book deals with, like, I don't want to give any spoilers, but read this book. One thing, the one question which would come into your head is like, why not place it in S tier then? A tier, because this book is boring. Straight as that. And why is it boring? Let me explain. Actually, let me give you more context on it. So the book itself is not boring to read. First 5-6 chapters, if you read them, you will get a complete idea of what the author is trying to say here. Okay, but you will not want to read any beyond that, because the same concept has been rinsed and repeated, the same sentences, the same words has been repeated across the entire book from the halfway point. And it will just be super boring for you, because who wants to read the same thing again and again and again? Like, this book has been intentionally made thicker by adding useless words, but this book can be summarized into a 30-50 page book. And if anyone makes that 30-50 page book, I'll be forever grateful to you, man. Like, make one summary of the power of the subconscious mind. It will change lives. Next, we're going to be talking about psycho-cybernetics, and this is the best picture that I could find of this book. A tier book. So, psycho-cybernetics and power of the subconscious mind kind of talk about the same thing. At least this is what I interpreted from the book. But it's a lot more structured. Okay, psycho-cybernetics talks about the different strategies and different things which you can do in order to establish connection with the subconscious mind, in order to use the subconscious mind in your day-to-day life, in order to not be bullied by the negative thoughts and which basically generate from the subconscious mind. It teaches you so much. Psycho-cybernetics tells you, like it talks to you in a weird way, which changes the way your mind works. It's weird. This book is weird. Okay. And I've seen certain influencers read this book, suggest this book, and then change. Wild changes. I just saw changed. I saw a changed angle of content, the changed way of speaking. It's all noticeable. And so this has changed a lot of minds. And so A tier book, not an S tier book, because well, I haven't really completed it. So I had it. And so basically I had exams, and so I could not finish this book, and this book is like still kept unfinished in my drawer. But I will read it, and after that I will decide to put it on S tier, or maybe demote it. I don't know. Next, we are going to be talking about this extremely recognizable book, Can't Hurt Me. Another A tier, I would say A tier, yeah. The vibe of this book is very different. It's very different. I haven't read a book like this ever. But the format is exactly like Shoe Dog, okay? It's a biographical sketch. It's not a self help book. It's a story, a real story. Can't Hurt Me is a real story. It's a story of David Goggins. And this book dives into the, again, like the details and how he felt frustrated and the exact situation, exact emotions which he felt during going through hell weeks and stuff. It's dived in and described so damn well, and this book will get you fired up. This book will absolutely get you fired up to do something, to wake up and just run on the treadmill, maybe to go out and run a marathon or some shit like that. So this book is an A tier book, not an S tier book, because again I have not finished it. My fault. But I am currently in the process of reading it, and I will complete it. Next, we are going to be talking about a very bad book, 1984, D tier book. Absolutely a D tier book. Can't argue against me on this one. 1984 is an absolutely trash book. Okay, so tell me one thing. You have read reviews on this book, watched YouTube videos on this book, right? If you have done that, then you don't need to read this book, because there's literally nothing else on this. I could not go past page 7. Forget about chapters, like I could not go past page 7. That's how bad this book is. And the thing is, it's not the concept that's bad, it's not the author that's bad, it's not the political angles and all the different dystopian reality details which is bad. No, it's not that bad. It's just the writing style. It's not a very good story like writing pattern. Okay, everything is very abrupt and everything just breaks off randomly. There's no flow in the story. It's very hard. You need to literally write down and remember characters if you want to make sense of the story. Not a recommended read. Just watch YouTube videos on this book. D tier. Next, You Deserve to Be Rich, and this book is actually by some podcasters. I think Troy Millings and Rashad Bilal. I haven't heard a single podcast of theirs, but in the book they talk about them being podcasters, so I know. C tier book. C tier. Because this book is not as bad as You Can Win or 1984. But this book is definitely useless. Okay, this book will not make you rich. You Deserve to Be Rich is a clickbait title. But this book basically dives into detail of all the financial intricacies and different types of mutual funds and investments which you can make as a normal person. It does not talk about what the rich people do. It does not talk about hard work and active income. This book's entire focus is on passive income, which is why I absolutely hate it, because it's a very common man book. C tier. C tier. Like if you want to understand more about equities and different investments and stuff, then maybe this book is going to be beneficial for you, but this book will not make you rich. This book will only help you hedge against inflation. Next, we're going to be talking about Atomic Habits. I don't know. Okay, B tier. Atomic Habits is the B tier. Yeah. Atomic Habits is a B tier book. Why do I say that? Because it has changed so many lives, right? Atomic Habits is a really, really celebrated book, but it, again, like the overthinking point, it will make you overthink. Atomic Habits does make you overthink. And by the way, like if you want the best insight from this book, I'll just tell it to you right here. It's habit stacking. So you like point out one pre-existing habit that you have. So maybe you wake up at a specific time, that's a pre-existing habit, and then you put another thing which you want to be your habit right after that, so it becomes easier to do the next habit. All right, so if you want to meditate for 10 minutes, and if you already have the habit of brushing your teeth, then you meditate for 10 minutes right after brushing your teeth. You stack the meditation habit on top of the brushing your teeth habit. That is a really good insight. And another massive insight is just, if you want to get into some habit, just make it easy to do. And if you want to get away from some habit, make it more difficult to do. The only problem is it does not work all the time. If you just make easy, if you just make the habits easy, how will you get away from the even easier bad habits which are to access, right? And if you want to make things difficult for you to do the bad habits, it's very easy to unlock the restrictions that you have placed on yourself in with regards to the bad habits, because you are the one who has made those restrictions, right? So I think this makes you overthink quite unnecessarily. And whatever insights that I've told you here is just basically what the book talks about. I mean, there are other little tips and tricks here. I will read this book again, but the biggest insights are: make it easy, make it hard. Make the bad habits hard to do and make the good habits easy to do. Won't work 100% of the time, but definitely a worthwhile read. But won't change your life. Beat ya. Next, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. And this is the only book which I would place above everything. Like, if there would have been a tier above S tier, like, I don't know, God tier, Legend tier, whatever the heck that is, I would place this book. This is the top book. If you ignore every other book in this entire tier list, if you want to ignore everything else, don't ignore this. Just read this book. I come back to this book every single time when I'm down or when I'm confused or anxious, and it will always have some insight ready for me. This book will rewire your mind and actually show you, the biggest benefit is that this book will show you the power of thinking simple. It will not teach you how to think simple, it will just make you think that, oh, Naval thinks these complex ideas in such a simple way, and it's so easy to understand. Maybe I am overcomplicating my life, right? Maybe I am just a monkey on a stardust roaming around space. Maybe I'm just a civilized monkey, right? Who thinks he has a plan. And this is such an amazing book. S tier, life changing book. S tier book. S tier book. Next, we are going to be talking about two mediocre books. Ikigai. Let's get this over with quick. C tier book because it does not give. Okay. D tier book because it does not give you any new insights. Just if you know that you need to eat healthy, move your body, and be social, if you want to live a healthy life, then you don't need to read this book, because this book basically talks about that. No secrets, nothing else. It just like live a better, more healthy life. That is it. No new insights. Same with this Art of War D tier book. The problem with this book is, if you want to understand things which are written in this book, you need to sit with a pen and paper. You need to literally analyze and study this book if you want to make sense of it, because you are not going out with your army to pillage a village tonight, right? Okay, but this book basically teaches you how to go out there and pillage a village tonight, and literally. And it does not promote violence or something. It talks about the strategies of doing that pillaging work effectively, and so that you gain and the opponent doesn't, and so on and so forth. It basically literally teaches you strategies of war. And I would much rather read something more meant for the modern world, which is like Robert Greene's Strategies of War, rather than this book, because you need to literally sit down with a pen and paper and analyze this book if you want to make sense of it. Otherwise, this book is just stupid. I could not finish this book. Like, I completed 2/3, then I stopped. Thank you for watching till this far, and I really appreciate you not judging me for my judgments on the books. Okay? If you want to read just one book from this list, read The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, this book, because it's the best book in this list, according to me personally. And again, like, please like, share, and subscribe. My health is really bad, but I'm still pushing out these videos. My setup is broken, and that is why I'm not appearing on camera. And so for 2 months around, you will just get these tailless videos. Easier for me to make with my bad health and broken studio, but I will try appear on camera every now and then if you're wondering where I am. So yeah, thanks for watching to this far. Just comment something. Just comment something random if you've made it till this far. Thanks.